Hello, this is Willow Nightingale, and you're watching the 3 Count podcast. Or listening to. Hit
him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man. Now know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count. And your boy real chicka real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin, the Capital Region's best kept secret, and the world's greatest hater, the Don Chaz Evans, and you're checking out the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Let me introduce to you my trio partners. Introducing first, he is my tag partner. He's the man that does this podcast. Because quite frankly, I really don't do anything but talk a bunch of trash. All right. He's the landlord of the Dog Pound. He is your friendly neighborhood Red Dog.
Yeah, it's the Air Force veteran intel specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. Also, the DICK of this industry. That's right. The dog in charge, kid. That's what it stands for. Stop. The dog in charge. That's me. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have a great show today.
All righty. All right, last but certainly not the least, he is the supervillain. He was there for the very first wrestling match between light and darkness. All right, he is the master of darkness himself, Lord Xehanort. All right, yeah, he's got the Keyblade and his new Jeep. All right, out there in darkness world, he is the Dark Lord, Damien Fatal.
Darkness world, really?
Darkness world, yes,
Darkness world.
Darkness world.
You forgot. I am the Antichrist of the wrestling world.
I will never say that out loud.
That is
I won't say that.
Oh, come on, why not?
I won't say that.
No, you want to.
I don't.
No, you gotta edit in. You gotta edit in, bro.
Maybe.
Part of my contract.
Listen, your contract was automatically renewed without you. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be at the lawyer's doorstep in a little.
That's
bit.
okay, because guess what? All that time where you miss is roll off. That's why Chris Idol is still a part of this team.
Rolling over his contract
as he goes into the future. Speed Force himself.
Whether he wants to be on here. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now. Okay,
yeah, it's gonna roll over. So once we get press tickets to WrestleMania, that's when all the rollover stops. I don't care.
Nice.
But
that
yeah,
is one place I will be allowed to go to. Anywhere else, I'm not allowed to go.
I know. I told you. Listen, remember the goal. I told you the goal is to get press tickets to WrestleMania. All right. And so yeah, once that happens, you can kiss me goodbye, guys. I'm retiring from podcasting. I don't know.
There's no reason to retire. You might as well keep on going.
Oh no, that was the ultimate goal. That was the ultimate goal. I did it on.
The ultimate goal is to be invited back year after year, my dude.
Well, no, the ultimate goal is to wrestle year after year at WrestleMania.
That is true.
That's the goal.
Saying.
But
I just want to produce a match at WrestleMania. I'm like, that's all I want to do.
You could do it. I believe. Listen,
I want to work behind the scenes. I don't want to wrestle for him. I want to work behind the scenes as a producer.
Yeah, that seems like a. See, I feel like now it feels like it's a less stressful job working there.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, I would have loved to work with Vince. I know you would love to argue with that man. It would have been great. To give each other heart attacks.
You would have been one of those employees that just kept getting fired and come back. You've been like JR.
Yeah.
Fired to come back and fired to come back.
Like, all right, come back next week. Like, all right, man, my bad. I got heated.
Fire you again and be like, yes, what we doing for Raw?
Yeah, right. Call me the next day.
I can imagine Damien. Yeah, I can imagine Damien and Vince getting into it, right? And then, Vince is like, get him out of here. I don't want to work with him. And then he's like, the next week, he's like, where's Damien at? What's Roman doing? Bring him back.
Bring him back. Call him now. Get him back here now. He's back in he's back in Utah. Well, get him back to New York City and get him on the jet. So that's across the country. Get him now. Get the faster jet.
Nah. Get the supersonic.
I can see it too.
Oh man. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you follow us. Am I pointing right? Is it right? Am I doing it right?
Yeah, right above us, right there.
Yeah, right above us, right above us. All right, follow us your favorite social media network, whether it's the Twitter on that Bird app, 3count_pod, Instagram 3count_pod, all one word, and TikTok, all one word, 3count_pod, no spaces. You know the deal. Make sure you type in the number 3, not THREE. That goes for our Pro Wrestling Tees shop. All right, we have shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. Soon to be going to another platform, but get your shirts there now. All right, Pro Wrestling Tees /3count_pod. You know, number 3, not THREE. If you're checking us out on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. All right. Also, did I say hit the bell button? I don't think I did, but if you did, hit the bell button so you always get a notification when we go live. If you are following us on Twitch, you're checking us out on Twitch, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that follower. If you are checking us out on Facebook, right, hit a like, share it out to all your friends. You know, I know you know somebody that watches wrestling, okay? Like, wrestling's cool again, okay? Get over it. So yeah, hit that share button. For all my podcast listeners, make sure you hit that subscribe button, especially for my Apple Podcast listeners. Hit that 5-star frog splash review off the top rope. Give us a subscribe. Hit on Spotify, which you can see over here on my screen there. You know, you see I'm just checking out last week's episode. Yeah, Spotify, like, subscribe. Think that's all the announcements, right? Cool.
Man, just fucking listen to us before I come after you.
Yeah, what he said. Okay. What he said. All right. Hey, Cliff, what we got for now entering the ring? I was listening to Sam Beal's interview the other day, and it was quite very informative.
Yeah. It's funny how my camera decides to just shut off right when we get into the middle of the conversation. That's crazy. Go ahead, camera. Go down with your bad self and just put it out there. And then you shoots to the wrong one. Yeah. So camera 1, camera 2. Bet we're on camera 2 now. Hey, so what do we have going on for now entering the ring?
I just saw a black person.
Hey, wait, that's crazy. So, now entering the ring, let's talk about what's coming out on Tuesday. You guys are gonna get Diego El Trabajador.
Oh, isn't that the guy you lost to?
Yeah. Shut up. So it was a fluke win
on IWTV.
He won on a roll up
that you can check out right now if you wanted to.
No, not right now. Just watch the show. Then after.
Well, no, not right now. But I mean, you can download the app and
go to Let Them Fight on Invictus. You guys can check it out on IWTV. Go promote their show because actually it was a lot of fun. The whole show was actually really, really good. Also,
the whole show was all right.
Yeah,
I got called out by a couple of punks. I mean, I did beat somebody up that day.
You did. You did.
Caught that man lacking.
And then so on Wednesday, you guys are going to get a now entering 201. Possibly, you might. I don't know. I say no, but who knows what's going to happen. But if everything goes according to plan, Jack Vaughn, the veteran Jack Vaughn, will be joining us. And if you guys are wondering who is Jack Vaughn, you guys have seen his TikToks. He's the guy that says like the difference between a veteran wrestler and an indie wrestler. And if you haven't seen those TikToks yet, go look at them. They're super funny. I love them. You have?
I have. It's funny. Yeah, I have seen them. And I was like, geez, okay, well, thanks for calling me out. It was one of them. I don't remember which one it was. But I was like, oh, wow, geez. All right, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, my favorite one.
I've seen a couple of his TikToks.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have a lot of fun talking to him about TikToks and like just the difference between like indie and veteran workers. So that episode should be out on Thursday, but you guys, we're not even recording it till tomorrow. So we're kind of on E actually. So we're refilling back up. We're getting a lot of our wrestlers.
Crazy to think.
Yeah. You can do mine next year.
I'm just saying that we have done 83 episodes this year so far. Wow. Yeah, yes, I heard Damien, and yes, we will be getting his. So he'll be coming back. It's weird too that we didn't do anybody from this year from the team. Where like last year we did like, we had Showtime Grimes, who's not even in the business anymore. We brought on Noah, and we've had you, myself, Idol, right? Yep. We've had a lot of our guys.
We have.
And then Damien's like, I'm still chilling back here.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't mind waiting. I don't mind not being part of the pack. I'm okay with whenever it's convenient for everyone. Actually,
Hey Damien, we might do we might do a watch along again. We haven't done one in a while.
All right.
Yeah. Now watch Chris Idol show up for that one because it's easy for him to do. Wait a minute.
And you guys put it in the chat which watch along you guys want us to do.
Yeah. Pick everybody.
Yeah. Tell us what you want.
Pick a show. Pick a show. Pick a show and we'll watch it. Hopefully it's something that none of us have seen, which is hard because Damien has seen everything.
I've pretty much seen everything unless you go back to like the 40s.
No, we're gonna go with Effie's Big Gay Brunch from 2022.
I've only
first shout out for Effie on this podcast.
It is. I saw that match. That's the only match I saw from that. I didn't watch the whole show.
Yo, actually, I was watching his podcast. I don't know if you guys know Effie's got a podcast. Effie's podcast, though, he was talking about that match he had with John Moxley. And he's talking about how in the middle of the match, there's the part where Moxley smokes the cigarette and then puts it out on his tongue. Well, he got dry mouth like during the match because he hadn't drank any water prior to going out. So he's like, and the worst part, he's like, I can handle a little bit of ash. He's like, but Moxley just like sucked it down, had so much ash that we put on my tongue, it coated the back of his throat.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
Nah.
Oh.
I was like, I felt bad for him.
Yikes.
Oh, that sounds gross.
It do, don't it?
That guy just has ash face in the mouth.
Alrighty. On that note, we're gonna take that time to segue into temp check. Alrighty. Temp check. For those of you who don't know, temp check is where we, and when I say we, the 3 Count Podcast, we give you our hottest and or coldest wrestler going into this week. All right. Cliff, Red Dog, Clifford, whatever you would like to be called today.
Wait a moment.
What is your temp check?
All right, so hottest wrestler of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and go with John Moxley's cigarette. I'm just kidding. That's not it. I'm gonna be super biased about this, and I really don't give a shit. I was shouting her praises on Twitter. If you guys were following me there, and if you guys were watching AEW, you would have seen it pop off too on Rampage. But Willow Nightingale, that's my hottest wrestler. Her signing on, now becoming All Elite.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. She's All Elite. But yeah. So Willow's gonna be my hottest wrestler. Coldest wrestler, because it seems to be a thing where I call out a wrestler and they just randomly pop up on TV for some reason. I'm gonna go with someone who hasn't been on TV in a long time. Shelton Benjamin. I know that he might be injured, but
no, he was on Main Event.
Okay, Shelton Benjamin is my coldest wrestler.
Yeah, he was on Main Event.
Because I didn't watch Main Event.
I didn't watch Main Event either. But I know he was on Main Event because there was a segment between him and Truth where he poured his guts out in this really good promo. And if you have not seen, you should probably go look that up on YouTube. Shelton Benjamin, R-Truth promo. And I think they're going to team up now. They are listed as a team on the
internal roster.
Yeah, if you go look on the the little roster page, they are listed as a team. So shout out to
I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, he cut out. Yeah. I guess I'll go next then since he cut out.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm at the pick Bray.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I totally took my turn now.
That's fine. Way to go. Way to keep the show moving.
Yeah, no problem. I'm picking Bray.
Bray?
Freaking Bray. Yeah, I want to pick my tribal chief. He's always the hottest wrestler, regardless. But Bray, he's doing something special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm enjoying everything that I've been seeing. So that's my hottest. My coldest. About Chris Jericho.
Really?
Ooh.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take there.
That's a cold take.
Yeah, there's
you're gonna
more
have
than
to.
one reason why.
You're gonna have to explain that then.
Right.
You can't say the Ocho as the coldest wrestler. Listen,
that's the problem.
We have been very, very critical of Chris Jericho on this podcast. But even like coming out and calling him the coldest wrestler of the week, that's pushing the envelope, Damon. So you can't say that and just be like, yeah, he's my coldest wrestler of the week, like it's some Sean Spears joke. No, you're going to sit back here. You're going to explain yourself, young man.
Because listen, he just had an awesome match with the Peacock Power himself.
Okay? He did. His match with Dalton Castle was really, really good this past Wednesday. So I need you to explain.
No. Dalton Castle was really, really good.
Oh no.
Let's get that right. His opponents have been really, really good. Let's get that completely out of it, period. Crazy. He's had some great opponents that made him look like $1 million.
He's Chris. Oh,
I'm getting sick and tired of Jericho, bro. He needs to lose that fucking title. Shouldn't have won it in the first place.
No. See, I'm into it now. I'm buying into it. Like that's this Wednesday. I bought into it. I can't say anything bad about Chris Jericho. Screw his political views. What's gonna happen? But that man, Chris Jericho, is on a war path. He's on a war path to destroy Ring of Honor. And
guess what?
If he constantly beats up Ring of Honor legends, I'm all for it. And maybe this is, very, very, far out there. If the buyout isn't true and Punk does indeed return, getting Jericho and Punk might make me forgive him.
Okay. So this is all right. This is my whole issue, right?
There's a hot take.
I get the story of him trying to destroy Ring of Honor. He did that when he won the title. That's how I feel. However, what he's doing isn't going to help Ring of Honor. Is it really going to matter whoever finally beats him is going to be like, I don't know, slay the so-called dragon?
Yes, I think so, because there's a Ring of Honor a weekly show is coming. Tony said it like this past week. A weekly. I think that's the problem with ROH right now is that they don't have a platform. Like the couple of matches, the couple of matches you get on Dynamite and Rampage are cool, but there's nothing. It's no substance to it. Now with Jericho having the belt and him giving it substance because it's being featured on that show, because you're not going to have Jericho not featured on your show. So I think that's why it's a good idea, because when someone does eventually beat him, by that time, I think, which probably will happen at the December pay-per-view, because we'll probably get an announcement for a weekly show coming next year. Going in, that person has momentum. But that's why I can't.
Okay, no, I see Jericho holding that title until like sometime this time next year.
Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. That's fine.
God help me.
At that point.
Well, if he has his way and he's in Tony Khan's ear,
But there's a lot of wrestlers that are former ROH champions that could definitely like help keep that momentum moving to next year. I mean,
right.
That's not possibility. I mean, like he could run a thing with Samoa Joe. He can do one with Jay Lethal.
Yeah, I'm just
Adam
not feeling
Cole,
it. I don't want him to beat. I don't want him to beat any of those guys, though. That's the thing. I don't want him to beat those guys.
You should see him Punk.
I don't know. I don't.
Jonathan Gresham, if he decides.
I think it's his face. It's Jericho's face. No, it's his face.
I agree. I was at a close proximity of him. I understand. It's his face. I understand. I get that. I completely understand.
I was at a close proximity with a cell phone.
He was on his phone during the matches. Hey, it's a long night. Give him credit. It's a long night.
Yeah, I ain't giving him shit. I'll give him credit when he leaves wrestling.
No,
and it doesn't mean leave Planned Parenthood and come back to WWE either.
Oh, that's not. No, he just signed another deal. So he's on.
The next time I want to see him is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
For what? WWE?
Yeah, that's it.
What to say?
I want him to get signed to not really get signed, but I want him to get inducted to the NHL Hall of Fame, like just for no reason, but just to put him in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
You know what the fucked up part about is I can see it happening. I can see it happening.
It is Jericho. Jericho
can talk himself into anything.
He can. He can. And that's
maybe
a good
that's
trait.
what annoys me too.
That's a good trait to have in wrestling. Trust me.
He's gonna induct himself in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know it's gonna happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Gonna be in there.
Like the thing is, I like him better in the group Fozzy than I do him as a wrestler.
I like Fozzy.
That's crazy because I love him in the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh God, please shoot me.
I don't like the group. I still don't like the group.
That's the point. I hate You're not supposed to like the group.
I know. It's annoying. I don't like the people.
That's like these people out here right now. They're all like, "I love MJF." By the way, the fact that we did not say MJF as far as like the hottest wrestler of the week,
I didn't get to go yet.
Well, then I'm still like, we're still got a debate. Yeah, get your hot wrestler and cold wrestler out because we gotta talk about this goddamn promo, man.
That promo was fire.
My hottest wrestler of the week, Jon Moxley. Like when you knock the competition out clean, yeah, it's Jon Moxley, bro. Like Jon Moxley continue week after week after week after week after week after week, putting on banger after banger after banger, just like a certain Irishman over on SmackDown. But he's now Jon Moxley. So Jon Moxley is my hottest wrestler. My coldest wrestler of the week, Logan Paul.
Yo, wait, what about Sean Spears? Like, you ain't gonna type.
Nope, Sean Spears. Listen, because Sean Spears is back as the perfect 10, and I'm all for it. I didn't like the. The chairman wasn't doing it because that man needs to just go in people's face and just go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah, it's 10 too late. Sorry.
Never. It's not never. Listen, you hear that? Listen, that crowd was chanting. Okay.
He is never going to live down the fact that he had another man on his boxers. I will never let him live that down. If I ever meet him, I'm going to ask him what the fuck was he thinking.
And he's going to tell you, I really wasn't.
I bet you he wasn't.
All right, let's go.
I saw those zeros at the end of my check and was like, well, my career's already over.
I'll ride it out.
All right, let's go debate. Let's actually debate, even though we were already debating.
Oh no, you want to debate about this MJF thing though, right?
Is that what we're debating on, guys?
I don't know. We have a lot of topics that we thought about it.
We do got a lot of things we can talk about. We can group that whole entire thing together.
Okay, go ahead.
MJF, all of Planned Parenthood.
Call it
Yeah.
Call it AEW.
How are you feeling about it?
How are you feeling about it? About AEW?
Go
ahead, Damien.
So many different feelings.
Yeah, you go first, Damien.
I got so many different feelings about it. It's like dealing with like the baby mama that you're trying to leave alone, but you just can't leave alone. Like that's how I feel about AEW. It's like you don't want to tell your friends that you're like, you're still fucking with her, but you still are on the low at like midnight. Yeah, it's like that.
I like it. That's a fair assessment.
It's all right. So, like, I'm hoping that company can like get past all the bullshit that's going on. Like, I'm hoping that this whole thing with Punk and his contract possibly being buyout is some bunch of BS. Because I feel like doing that is going to hurt them more than anything. Just in general. Like, it's not even the fact if he goes somewhere else and wrestle. We're talking about the way that it's going to be handled. Like, you're going to get rid of him, but you're not going to get rid of the elite. They're still part of the problem. So it's like, you really need to get rid of everyone that was part of the problem if you're getting rid of people. Not just one or two people.
Correct.
In general, period. And it's just the way that they're handling shit behind the scenes. It's like, wow, what else was going on behind the scenes before all the shit got out.
Right. No, I mean,
that y'all weren't dealing with.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. That's why I can't wait for. I can't wait for Brandy to come out and start talking. I know Brandy's got a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's like it's like I don't know, if they're not careful, they're gonna be on Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
But you got your bright spots, like you said. Moxley's been doing his thing.
Like legit, Moxley's been killing it. He's really been killing it. I mean, he's been killing it all summer.
He has.
He's been killing it all summer. But it's just like
he has.
really just sitting back and really thinking like this.
Your two bright spots are him and MJF.
Right. You know, especially when someone goes into this.
Man, Moxley don't miss.
But that's what I'm saying. You got those two. That is it. And at the point, they're kind of working together. Like, they're kind of doing separate things, but they're still working together. So that's like literally your main bulk of what's good about your company.
Yeah, I was going to say, forget the summer of Punk, man. This is the summer of Mox. Actually, I shouldn't even say. This is like last 3 quarters.
Yeah, no, this was Mox's year.
Moxley's
year.
This
is his year. No, it's his year.
If PWI does not make Moxley the #1 wrestler next year, there's definitely some issue. We've got
factual.
Facts.
Because that man is just.
I don't know. It's just. God, there's so many fucking problems. He really does need somebody to go in there and clean house, bro.
I agree.
My line is still open, Tony. My line is still open. All you gotta do is pick up the phone, bro. I ain't hard to find.
Just walk in and start.
I'll do your dirty work. I got you.
You know, it's crazy. Damian has gone from, the legit worst explicits you could ever think of to, hey, Tony, give me a call, bruh. I can help you out. Let me help you out. Like, wow. The crazy things that can happen in 2 years.
Money talks, my nigga. Look, money talks. He can afford my services and buy my silence. Just saying.
And
help me. Help you.
Exactly. Like I said, I enjoy the fact that there's 2 companies that that are up there that you can choose from.
Yeah.
I don't want that to go away.
Yeah.
I might hate on Tony, and it's for legit reasons, but it's still giving a whole bunch of wrestlers that didn't have that opportunity to be on that freaking national worldwide platform.
I agree.
Right.
And that's a good thing for business in general. And I'm all about business. So, yeah. I mean, is Tony a mark? Yes. Is he an idiot sometimes? Well, most of the time, yes. But it doesn't mean he can't pay me to do his dirty work. It's not like he's Dixie Carter, doesn't really have money.
Oh my God! Don't give me. Listen. I have a field day about Dixie. Damien knows. I used to go off all the time on about Dixie. Be like, how can you legitimately at the time Dixie was running had the best wrestling roster on the planet, and just
she did.
It's worse than what Tony does. Like Tony has the best roster right now. Of all the talent that he has the best roster. He's not fucking up as bad as Dixie would did. Dixie would have.
No, he's not. But he also doesn't have the time to give every wrestler.
Absolutely.
To shine. That's what's going to hurt him.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is, having too much talent. It did the same thing with WWE.
Yeah.
They had all that talent, and even though they have more time and more TV time, they still didn't have enough time.
Right.
Still didn't have enough. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And they weren't even promoting the shows that well either. They should have been, because I think people would have watched 205 Live, especially when you had that era of Cedric Alexander and you had Buddy Murphy and then you had Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Those 3 were just tearing shit down there.
Agreed. That was 205 Live at that when that first breaking out was hot. They kept me after SmackDown to put on the network to watch, it wasn't like it was bad, but yeah, it's a thing of 2. I think that's the issue with AEW. is that it's just there is so many bright spots, as you were saying earlier, Damon. There are so many bright spots and not enough time. And it's not like they have two shows where they can go split and do a brand split. They don't have that type of time. You have your 2-hour Dynamite on Wednesday, but then you have an hour Rampage on Friday, which, you know, it's not live sometimes. It's been live recently because of the playoffs, but it's not live. You have 2 YouTube shows that really don't even do at least half your audience, you know, on TV. It's a lot.
I want to go back and watch it on fucking YouTube.
But here's the thing: I wouldn't say I gotta disagree with you on that, because man, you gotta remember NWA was doing that before they got on Fight TV. NWA
that was the start of the company, though. That was the whole show, though. Like, it was a little different. It's like one of those things where it's like, all right, I can either watch Rampage or Dynamite and get my fix with AEW instead of watching all the extra shit that they got. It'd be different if AEW wasn't on national television.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, I mean, yes, absolutely, no, absolutely, yes, yes. But like my point is saying that is the YouTube show is supposed to get those, you know, those, I guess, the indie talent and the stars you're going to bring up. That's your, you know, how W had Velocity and Heat. That's what that's supposed to be. But if you don't have people watching it,
Saturday night.
I don't know about that one. Shotgun Saturday Night. I don't know about that one.
I feel like those shows are punishment.
Oh no, he said punishment.
It's like, damn. Yeah, you alright. We're just gonna put you on this show.
But like if people don't watch it, you know, and then you try to bring them up on the main on Dynamite or Rampage, and you're like, it doesn't correlate.
I get that all the time when I see new people I've never seen before. Like, who the fuck is this? Oh, and then they've been on like Elevation and Dark. What?
Yeah, there they go. Yeah, they have at a format streak on Dark, and I'm like, well, that's good to know. Thanks for telling me. All right, I get it, but like, all right, understandable. Okay, now you're on. Okay, makes sense. Okay, but no one watches it. It's a cool concept. Like, the idea is great. I think the
it is on paper.
The execution, and then, you know, that goes back into the rank, the whole thing's on rankings and wins and losses thing. But that's a can of worms in and of itself.
Yeah, don't even get me started with that.
But yeah, they got a lot of people, and there's a lot of.
They need to advertise those YouTube shows on their live shows. Like, at the end of the show, watch Elevation, watch Dark.
Yeah,
they don't.
I think the results at the bottom don't help. But I mean, they put the results on at the bottom. You know, the little ticker.
Oh, they do. I don't watch long enough. I skip through a lot.
Yeah, so they have like all like the records and stuff like that.
Yes, they have the records and the results.
And they'll usually have like some kind of crazy fact in there to be like one last 6 matches on Dark.
Yeah,
they'll say something along that line.
So it's not like they're not promoting it. It's just
they're doing a poor job promoting.
It's on a Monday.
No, they're doing a horrible job.
It's on a Monday at the time when Monday Night Raw is on.
Oh, that's why.
No, it comes on before Raw.
Well, the hour. What was it, an hour before?
Yeah, an hour before Raw.
An hour before. Even then, though, because
sometimes
Dark runs for an hour and a half. I've noticed. Sometimes Dark is an hour and a half. So it runs. Sometimes it'll run into Raw. But yeah, it's, you know, Monday night's always hard.
At 9 o'clock, I'll be switching that real quick.
Yeah, you know, Raw's on. You got football, The Voice. People people watch other stuff.
There is no other stuff.
I would.
You're watching this debate show again on
a Monday night. Listen, if you're watching us again on a Monday night over Raw, I appreciate you. You get an extra trophy and an extra achievement just because you.
I think So okay, so let me kind of harp back, right? Because there was some points that were made that we need to kind of hit back on, right? Obviously, with the situation that's going on with the Elite and Punk kind of like dominating everything, it's kind of overshadowing like the great work that Moxley is doing. But then like we're not even talking about MJF and like just the incredible promos that he keeps putting out after banger after banger after banger, and like that promo, like I don't know, man. To me, I think that's the building blocks, right? Like there's like you have all these guys who can do great promos and some guys who can't, right? And you got to let them talk, right? Because when I look at MJF and the way that he was able to move the crowd to boo Regal, who was a part of the Blackpool Combat Club, everyone's favorite group, and then to watch Regal change that crowd back over and boo MJF again, I was like, bro, like this is just two
Masters
artists.
Masters at work, right?
Dude, it was perfect.
Masters
it was like
at
watching
work.
it was like watching Obi-Wan and Anakin just go back and forth
Mm-hmm.
for my Star Wars nerds out there. But it was just like these great battles, right? And then like at the end, it was just like watching that scene where he's like, "You underestimate my power," and then Rigo was like, "Bad." I just think it's great. But then the other part that I want to kind of give some praise to, right? And we talked about this at the first of the year, or the first year. We talked about this the second year. And I said this was kind of like their year that they really needed to kind of start amping stuff up. And I think watching the women's division develop the way it's been developing, and we're talking about some addition with some other superstars. And I'm not talking about, and I don't want to say superstars, that's not fair. Some other wrestlers that are coming in that are going to help elevate that women's division. I mean, we've got Soraya, right?
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell, but you can't knock someone like you're
right. You're right.
Willow, right? Is
yes,
clearly
I agree. Yes,
top talents.
Yes, as a whole, I'm saying I know
but there's a lot more.
I constantly scrutinize the women, and I feel like people hate.
But see, that's why he goes into Speed Force. No one's paying attention. But I feel like last year,
I think I hate women because.
Well, no, you hate the women's division. That's just what it is.
So, okay, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad you caught that. Wow, you caught that part.
but here's
everything else.
Here's where I go with that. Right? It's because when last year we were talking about it, we were like, "Yo, Britt is the women's division, right?" And we were talking about could there be anybody else? And Sheeta was a person, right, that we talked about. This year, though, it's real. Britt, right? Jamie Hayter. We've talked about.
Yes.
We've talked about Jade Cargill, right?
Yes.
Obviously, the baddies, right? They're all like they're doing their thing. Willow, right?
Yes. Okay.
Obviously, and then obviously the return of Paige, right? Tony, right? Not even we could include her, but she's not really there, right? Thunder Rosa, right?
Right.
She's injured.
You got Athena.
You can say that all you want. And the crazy part is Sheeta is still there, Nyla Rose is still there, and you're still looking at there's just names that are still associated with everybody. And I know that she doesn't get the huge platform, but her matches on Dark are pretty fire. But Marina Shafir is like doing great work as well. It's just it's crazy to think that there's all this talent that just keeps coming through and plugging away and just knocking it out. And it's like, all right, cool. So the women's division, you can kind of see like, all right, now we're starting to take shape and we're starting to take focus into what we want to get accomplished with this women's division. And like you said, it is time. But at this point last year, I was like, this is going to be kind of the time where they really need to start stepping up. And they're starting to evolve that. The only problem I feel like is that's really harping at them is that while they're putting so much emphasis on like trying to build that women's division, we're also losing steam on the tag division. Like, I don't see as much tag
don't
team
even
wrestling.
Get me started with that either.
Yeah, tag team wrestling there, man, is not because you have the tag teams now, and then you have the trios titles, and like you're not really showcasing the trios titles. You just know that Death Triangle has them, but they haven't really been able to put them out there. They put them on Battle of the Belts. We saw that live, but it was like. Other than that, and with even that, wasn't it on Rampage?
That was on. I was about to say that was on Rampage. That wasn't
on Rampage.
Yeah, because Pac defended the
right, and then he defended the Atlantic title.
Yeah, right after.
it's like you have this these great tag teams, and you can't really showcase them all. Like, why is it that FTR still the number one contenders and still had never had given a shot at the tag titles yet? But it's like, you know, you have them running around and they're defending all the. I'm just saying, like, this is a company that talks about wins and losses matter, but yet for some reason the number one contenders, FTR, isn't going to get a shot at the AEW titles yet. You know. It's weird. It's just like we're kind of getting away from like what really was building the building blocks of AEW, which was, you know, this young, hungry talent, right? And these guys who were showcasing the tag divisions, right? And I want to see them kind of get back to that.
And that was just, you know.
The thing is, it's not that they got talent. They got the talent. It's not that they don't have the talent in all divisions. It's they do not know how to present them all at the same time, at the same level. It's like the women's division. All those women are talented as fuck, every last one of them, but they're not showcasing them right.
No,
or they're not showcasing the right ones with the right ones. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why, in my opinion, it has been such a what the fuck moment when it comes to the women's division. It's not.
I'm going to use that as a segue. Boom. He's talking about the women's division. We're going to segue into our next topic because we could talk about AEW all show long. And so, rumor has it that the man, Becky Lynch, is set for a return. She's all healed up and set to return pretty much at any point, anytime soon. It's rumored that when Becky does come back, that she's going to start a feud with Ronda that'll lead to a match at WrestleMania. So the question is, does Ronda versus Becky 1-on-1 main event WrestleMania? Yes, no. All right, we'll start with you, Cliff.
I mean, if they present it right, possibly. I'm gonna say right now, if WrestleMania was like next month, I would definitely say no. Right? Even with Becky being back, I would still say no. Because night one clearly, or night two clearly gonna be Roman's night. We're not even hide it. And I think
right
though, even if they wanted to do like a women's match, like Bailey maybe would have been like the one. Bailey and Bianca would have been like the hotter ankle to go with. And then even at that, like, I know it's like Ronda versus, I don't even know really who's tearing it up on SmackDown right now with the women's division.
Liv.
Liv going crazy. Yeah, she's just going crazy. That's it. That's their idea of what they're trying to do with her. I don't know, man. It's really hard. I would just definitely lean towards the Raw side and with women's, and I just like what's going on with Bianca Belair and Bailey. So I think that would have been a hotter angle. I think if you present it right, like I think the man Becky Lynch will definitely come through and tear it, or Big Time Bex, I think is what she's going by now. But I think you could set it up. I just don't know if that's going to have the steam to tell me that that has to be the first match of the night, because, you know, Seth is tearing it down. Cody's, you know, expected to be coming back, and God knows like how he's going to tear it up. Who knows what's going on with Rated RK, bro? We might see our tag match, right? The
tag match is not main eventing WrestleMania. I don't care what anyone says. They
Vince isn't there now.
But I still don't. I don't know how you. There is no tag team on that. I mean, at this, like I said, WrestleMania is not until April next year. So right. Give or take, you know, things could you know, drastically change. This is all, you know, fantasy booking. But you can't tell me right now. You're looking at the tag team division in WWE. I would no. My 4-hour night one of WrestleMania, and you end it with a tag match. There's nobody on that roster. I don't know, unless you bring FTR. Unless you bring FTR back to face the Usos. No.
You know what's crazy though? Like,
I just don't.
They're just thinking. The funny thing is that down in the bottom, like the tag team division is kind of bubbling. Like it is bubbling. I'm not. Bubbling. You're right. It is, but I just
in general.
I don't think it's
all
because I tell you this.
So
it's not even an if. It's not even if. When Sammy like goes face, right, and teams up with KO, like. You mean to tell me the possibility of KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania night one wouldn't be something that you would headline?
Not main eventing, no. That's not no.
That's crazy.
They could.
Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
those
don't.
guys. You already know, like Kevin's gonna go all out.
Absolutely. I think that's that banger you put smack that in. You know what I'm saying? Like in the hot spot, like right before, right after intermission. I don't. You wouldn't. That's not main.
It depends on how it's presented, bro.
So that I mean, yes, no intermission, but you know what I'm saying? Like
10 hours of wrestling.
10 hours of wrestling. Like you put that in hour 5 of the 5th hour. You know that. Like that middle of the show where everything is like, oh. That's where you put that, like the Cody and Seth, that spot. That's where you put that match. Main eventing. I just don't think you can have me sit and wait 3 hours. Like I can't wait for this match. Like I have to sit through. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the show to see this match.
Especially right now with Hunter like pulling away all the gimmick pay-per-views. There's just a possibility, man. Like
if you do throw a gimmick match in there, but that's.
I think if you had,
I don't want to say it's adding the crutch to it, but
I think Kevin Owens. Let's be real. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos, Hell in a Cell, main event, night 1, WrestleMania. I think that would definitely set a lot on fire. If you could, you got to build it up properly, obviously.
Absolutely.
Like we just said, right? You could build up. Ronda and Becky to do that too. Yeah, another person too, man. Like shit, we could end up having Becky versus Charlotte 1-on-1 because she's also like the way they're like putting out the package.
See, that's a main event.
Twitter's bubbling up, and they're like, "Yo, we kind of want this match now." And I was like, bro.
But here's the thing: do we really want to see Becky and Charlotte again? We see it every year.
WrestleMania,
but it's an instant classic, though. 1-on-1 at WrestleMania, I don't think it's happened.
It hasn't,
and I can see that main event, no problem, no matter how it's built, because they're gonna pull it off.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee.
I agree with you on that. I will not disagree. Yes, if you put Charlotte and Becky in the equation, if you get them 1-on-1, yes, that's the main event. That's the main event. WrestleMania West. Yes, like that can like no story at all. You can like this is you can do the whole Rock and Cena thing. Hey, we're gonna wrestle a year in advance. That's you can carry that just like that is it as a main event of WrestleMania. I agree. I don't. Do we want to see Charlotte and Becky again? Like. How many times do we need to what? So what do we do? We've seen face Becky and heel Charlotte go at it. Do we switch it then? That's the only way you make it different. Have Charlotte be a face, but no one's gonna cheer Charlotte.
It depends. It depends on how it's carried.
No, because what's gonna happen is
you gotta keep her heel.
Yeah, the crowd does
it every single time.
They all cheer for Charlotte. They all cheer for her at first. Right, because she shows up. She says some line where she's like, "Well, I wish the feeling was mutual," Charlotte. And then like the crowd beats her.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, Seth Rollins did that.
Yeah, Seth does.
I remember when Seth did that live. That was great.
Seth does.
Did you miss me, Raleigh? I wish the feeling was mutual.
But I think Becky and Ronda main events night 1. Because the thing is this: you're not main eventing anything is not going to main event over your tribal chief. Anything he does, whether
of course not. No, he's got night 2 hands down.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes into the text.
Yep, back into Speed Force.
You have whether you. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
All right, cool. So yeah, like I was saying, it does not matter what you do, if you have Rock or not. You get nothing's gonna main event over the tribal chief. Nothing at all. So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think you definitely Ronda and Becky main events night 1.
I can see that happening for sure. If, like you said, the build is right. Which I know they're gonna. You got Becky. She's probably gonna carry it all. Period. In general, just because it's Becky.
Yeah,
and she'll be able to break something out of Ronda that nobody else has been able to.
Well, you gotta
maybe Charlotte.
I mean, you got to remember the whole Becky and Ronda thing is what? This is 3, 4. No, it's longer than that. Something 4, almost 5 years in the making.
That's something that people want to see one-on-one.
Like, we've been wanting that from day one. Like, when they main evented WrestleMania, we wanted a one-on-one match. We didn't, it's just we had to put Charlotte in there. So that's why I feel like that can carry. That's a match that and don't remember the finish from that triple threat, man. Remember the finish? Ronda's shoulder was up.
Oh no. There's a story. There's a
already there. So that's why I feel like you could. That's a match that that's main event in Los Angeles. You got Ronda fucking Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet versus Becky Lynch, main event WrestleMania, and Los Angeles, California, SoFi. That's main event. Like that's big time for you.
Start building it. Yeah, and if you start building it within the next month or two, it's gonna have like huge steam.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Which with Trips in charge, I see him being fine.
Oh yeah. All right, there's for that, Cliff. What we got?
All right, so let's get into this or that.
Remember
we used to have like the
yes, I remember.
For it, and I took it out because I was like, whatever, I'm tired of this. So let's talk about factions, right? A lot of people like to do this, and apparently this kind of gets over a little bit on our channel. So we're gonna go this or that with factions, and I kind of want to take
pure ignorance.
As much as I would take pure. If I threw out the other group,
which one?
If I threw out the other group, you would definitely go the other way.
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 versions of pure ignorance.
There's 3 versions of pure ignorance.
Now, if you were to make me choose between out of the 3, I got to think on that. That's another conversation. We'll do.
I got to think about that one too.
Because I like the OG version. Like the OG version has a special place because if it wasn't,
it does.
Because if it wasn't for the OG version, there wouldn't be the other 2.
No, there wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have been.
No way possible. So, but anyway,
no, not at all.
Go ahead, Cliff. We're getting off on a tangent again.
Yeah. So let's talk about the possibilities, right? So we're gonna go with I would like to think they're probably the greatest faction of all time, right? The 4 Horsemen.
I'm about to say you better put the 4 up if you use that to introduce.
I was hoping he was.
But we're also going to put it up. We're also going to put it up with another faction that Ric Flair was in, Evolution.
Ooh.
We can't have recency bias here because let's be real, like neither one of them have worked in a long time.
Ooh, and I was around for both of them.
I was around for one, and that was the tail end. But I've seen everything there is about Evolution because that was growing. Yeah.
And by the way, when we talk about the 4 Horsemen, we're talking about the original.
I think I wasn't gonna do like that. Like which version?
Oh yeah, no. You gotta go with the original.
In there. Like not that version. Not that version.
Yeah. I want to say Evolution because if you look at Evolution as a group and you look at each individual and you look at a career retrospect and you're just like, yeah, like Triple H that's prime Triple H, and he still did more shit after Evolution. Same thing with Rick, like Rick did a lot more after Evolution, and then don't get me started on Orton and Batista, like. But you wouldn't have Evolution if you didn't have the 4 Horsemen.
No, you wouldn't.
Right. And you gotta remember, I think it was when they did the whole Evolution little documentary or whatever special they did. Triple H was saying he wanted the modern day, 4 Horsemen. So I'm gonna go with the 4 Horsemen just because, like, you really wouldn't. Because if you're thinking of modern day factions and you go like, oh, who's the modern day horseman? You would have to say Evolution was the modern day horseman, like for at least in that era. So I'm gonna go with the 4 Horsemen. So yeah, 4.
Okay.
All right. So
I liked Evolution though. I really did. Like SmackDown versus Raw. That was my theme song for my career as a wrestler.
I fucks with Evolution.
Evolution is a mystery.
Just because I was old enough to see that from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
The Horsemen was a little bit before I was born, but they were still strong. When I really got into wrestling. But nobody's done the shit that the Horsemen has done. The heat that they got was legit. Motherfuckers wanted to hang them.
Yeah.
They did some shit. They had that serious heat.
Yeah.
But then also beloved at the same time. It just depends on what city they were in and who they were going after. I gotta go with the Horsemen. Just because I feel like they got the longevity. They're still relevant today. Everybody, any faction wants to be like the fucking Horsemen, regardless of how you portray yourself. The Horsemen are that it stable, it faction, especially the original.
Yeah.
That original 4, including, and then J.J. Dillon. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Definitely 4 Horsemen all the way. Sorry, Evolution. I love you guys, but
Damon, you bring a good point. It's if you look at the echelons, when you become a tag team, right? You go, all right, cool. I want to be the what's the echelon of tag teams? You go the Rockers, or you go, Legion of Doom, or Tarn, Ali and Arn, Ali and Tarn, Tully and Arn. So you think that's what you think of a tag team. When you think of your faction, all right, cool. If you're gonna be a faction, I want us to be who? You first you're automatically you're gonna say, I'm the Horsemen. I want to be NWO and all that, but you always say the Horsemen. So when you look at the echelons of teams, you go, all right, I want to be the Horsemen. So yeah, just to piggyback what Damon said. I already know what Cliff's gonna say.
No, yeah, do you? Because I really, at this point, my vote doesn't really matter at all.
It does. Your vote. Your vote matters. But it's okay. It's
my vote matters.
It's the electoral college.
Listen, if my vote matters, then in Maryland, vote yes on Prop 4. All right, that's my only political thing I'm going to put out there.
I don't know what that is. So,
that's a. Do y'all want to smoke legally? I know I do. So that's vote yes.
Too bad I can't vote. I can't vote for that. I'm not a resident anymore.
So for me,
wait, Damien, you actually voted?
Was that?
Damien, you voted?
Me? Yeah, I vote every time.
Don't you have a record?
Now, sometimes I might put.
Don't worry about that.
I might put some votes for candidates sometimes.
But I thought you.
But I don't want to vote for my candidate.
Don't you? I thought you had a record.
He has a record.
Nigga, I don't get caught.
So all right, so let me hop into
why I thought you couldn't vote. Wow.
So, no, I'm a super villain for a reason, nigga.
True statement. I heard that.
Here's my thing, right? So I listen to I agree with a lot of points that you guys have made, right? If it wasn't for the 4 Horsemen, obviously Evolution wouldn't be a thing. But I have to sit back and look at Triple H and look at Hunter and look at look at Hunter, look at Batista, look at Randy, look at Rick, and they did incredible things post Evolution. But when you talk about a faction, you don't ever sit there and be like, oh man, I want to be like Los Boricuas, even though I love that group. But you're always I want to be the 4 Horsemen. And even to this day, we still talk about them. And let's be real, just one reason that I'm going to tell you that I'm going to go with the 4 Horsemen over Evolution. I love Evolution's theme song, but we're talking about a theme song that came out in the early 80s that we still fuck with today. If you don't have the 4 Horsemen as a theme song on your playlist, you have missed out. You're absolutely wrong. And just think about that, man. It's yeah, it's a great theme song. We still talk about it. And so to me, I think if you're benchmarking, like you said, Chaz, like if you're benchmarking, you're like, who do I want to be? Nobody, everybody talks about they want to be the Four Horsemen, right? Some people will tell you they want to be Evolution, and that's great, right? Some people want to be DX, right?
But then you look at it, go, what did Evolution want to be?
Yeah, Evolution wanted to be.
He wanted to be.
So I have to agree. I think it is the Four Horsemen, hands down. That's our sweep there. So, but more importantly, we want to know about you guys. We want to know what you think and what you guys want. So, in the comment down below, on Spotify, actually right behind Chaz's screen, go on Spotify, answer the question. Right? Is it Evolution or is it the Four Horsemen? Who do you guys like better? So let us know.
Alrighty. On that note, we want to give all of our listeners who have made it to the end, our PlayStation users, give yourself a trophy. For all of my Xbox users, you get an achievement because you've made it to the end. We always want to give a huge shout out to all of our listeners who, make it to the end of the show. So with that being said, if you've not already done so, make sure you follow us on your favorite social media platform, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, 3Count Pod. The only thing different is Twitter. That's 3Count_pod. Buy a shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees /3Count Pod. That's the number 3, not THREE. Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star frog splash review off the top rope. Go for the cover and give us a nice comment and share. Also on Spotify, give us a like and a subscribe. Tell a friend. Listen, I know you know a nephew of yours that watches wrestling, okay? You tell them about, actually, you know what? Don't tell them about this show because your nephew's probably young and we curse a lot. So don't actually send it to your nephew's parent and let them listen to it first so we still get to listen. So tell them that, yeah, that's how you do it. All right, cool.
No, kids, listen to us. You'll learn something.
You could, no, legit, you could. I mean, you really
learn
could.
a lot of new words.
Exactly. Expand that vocabulary.
Yeah. On that note, thank you for watching. Be there for the next episode of the 3Count Podcast Debate Show. I'm the Don. Here's Red Dog, and that's not someone you want your kid to look up to. Damien Fatal.
Fuck that, I'm a role model. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a fucking role model.
Turn to the next episode. Now.
Kids, go out of your way and ask your parents, what is cum bubble?
Stop! No!
Hey, 3Count Podcast listeners, it's your host, the icon Chaz Evans here. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's the Facebook, that's the Twitter, that's the Instagram, that's the Snapchat. We don't have Snapchat. We don't have Photo Bucket. But make sure you follow us on all those things at 3Count Podcast or at 3Count_pod. That's on the Twitter, by the way, 3Count_pod. But yeah, definitely also make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to our videos. And if you really like us a lot, definitely go find us on ProWrestlingTees.com/3CountPod and get yourself a 3Count Podcast t-shirt. And make sure you continue listening to us.